another amazing episode of Connect the Knox. With me, your hostess with the mostest, Julia Hurley. And today's guest is one of the most creative people I have come across in the 2 years I've been on TikTok, John Mancuso. And I said it wrong earlier. He owns Switchmen Studios. And if you have not had the pleasure, we're going to talk about his TikTok channel. We're going to talk about his creativity and some of what he does. One of my favorite things, however, is when he creates TikTok videos about SEC college football or any college football teams and how they've named their mascots. I found this creator on my For You page. I have followed him and shared him. And I think at this point, he is over like 50 million views. Extremely creative, and friends from Tennessee. I know it's shocking. We've got talent here. So, Josh, tell us about you and how you ended up where you are today and kind of where we're going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be with you. So I'm originally I was born in LA. So I've got family in California, but I lived in Tennessee since I was 5 years old. So I grew up in Northeast Tennessee. I live in Johnson City, Tennessee now, and have always been into creating things. Man, I tell you what, even when I was a kid and I had projects in school, and that you had a choice. You could do like one of those boards, like the 3-thing board that you could like make a.
Oh, like the science experiment thing?
Yeah, you could do a board like that, or you could write a paper, or you could do like different things. And one of the choices was make a video, and I always made a video for every single project. So I've been making videos since I was a kid, and have been fortunate enough to turn it into a career. So just been having fun making some videos here with college football season in full scale right now. So it's been a lot of fun.
I wish I could figure out, I'm sure you could do this, figure out how to insert one of your videos here.
Well, this ought to be easy. Do I look like your girlfriend? Funny. You really think you can beat us? Oh, not just beat you. You're going to be more embarrassed than your 2006 Duke lacrosse team. Your coach can't make it past the second round. It's your coach's first year. John Shire? It's Shire. Can you still not find a coach with a normal last name, like Barnes?
But I really encourage people to, and I'll put all your links in the podcast as well.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you come up with this stuff? I mean, the Tennessee-Georgia video is actually oddly what came up on my For You page the week of that game. And I was like, how did it know? How do you come up with this stuff?
It's too smart. It's scary smart. Well, I fancy myself a good writer. There's certain things I'm really good at, some things I'm not that good at. So the technical side, like I couldn't tell you how to put one of my videos into this stream right now. No idea. But I'm a good writer and hopefully a decent actor. So some of these skits almost write themselves, especially the mascot videos. There's so much content because it's great to kind of look at how schools came up with their mascot, but don't look at the real story. You look at like an outsider's perspective, like why is Virginia Tech a Hokie? What's a Hokie? What is that? And so you just kind of go down a rabbit trail. And next thing you know, I've written the script and it's, I'm lucky, I guess, because I love college football. And so that world is familiar to me. If I were writing comedy skits about brain surgery, it wouldn't be funny. Because I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. So at least it's an area that I'm familiar with.
I do love the Hokie. I just watched the Hokie one this morning, actually. And you're like, and you ended it with, and lots of national championships. And you cut over it and you're like, no.
It's so sad. Bless their hearts. They haven't won a national championship in football or maybe any other sport that I'm familiar with. So
no, if that's not the most Southern thing somebody has said on this podcast yet, bless their heart. I really do appreciate that. Tell us about how you ended up in the Tri-Cities.
Oh, yes. Well, my mother was from the Tri-Cities. My dad was from California, and his family was also out there. But yeah, I ended up moving out here when I was 5 years old and never left. I spent about a year in Atlanta, but pretty much East Tennessee bred. And my wife and my 3 daughters, we still live here and we're rooted here. I think don't anticipate leaving anytime soon. So we love it. I mean, you couldn't ask for. You get all 4 seasons. You get beautiful scenery. You get great people. East Tennessee is a great place to live. Yeah.
So downtown Johnson City, pre-COVID, I haven't been since. Downtown Johnson City had a restaurant oh my gosh, it was like a Cuban restaurant. Is that still there?
Saboris, no, it's not there any longer.
Oh man, that place was fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants in Johnson City. like in Knoxville. I mean, I think Knoxville's got a ton of good places to eat. And Johnson City, for being such a small town, has incredible dining. Yeah, they've got some great places to go. There's no shortage of good restaurants and breweries too. If you're into the beer,
I am. We go to Asheville at least twice a year to celebrate. just to go.
To celebrate what?
Celebration
Just
of
to celebrate.
Asheville. Just cause. Just go.
It's Thursday. Let's go celebrate somewhere and have a beer. Yeah.
Woo! Biltmore, thank you. So,
Yes, that's it.
true though, true. Anyway, all right. So California to Johnson City. Your family's from here anyway. Did you go to college here? Did you go to college in the South? What made you fall in love with the idea of this?
Well, I went to college at Emory and Henry College, a small school
wow.
in Southwest Virginia. Yeah, a small private school.
We crushed you every year in tennis. I went to Maryville College.
Did you really?
That was the only thing that we had against you. The only thing we could win.
That's great. Yes, I remember playing against Maryville College. So I went to play football. So I was, I was nearly enrolled at University of Tennessee. I already had my roommate from high school. We were going down to get together. We were ready to rock. And then sort of last minute, I decided I played football in high school. I wanted to try to play football in college. And there were some small schools that were giving me some chances. And so I was like, all right, I can't let go of this. I probably should have let go of it, but I couldn't. So I went there to play football. Unfortunately, I hurt my back my sophomore year and could not play anymore after that. But I stayed there for all 4 years. And it's a beautiful campus. Let me tell you what, it is so nice up there. So did you play tennis?
I did. Emory and Henry was one of our favorite places to visit because we would just absolutely, it was always a 6-0, 6-0, 6-6. So I was like, nah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't remember us having a very strong tennis team when I was there. It was all football and a little bit of basketball. So, yeah, that's exciting. Well, you need to come back up and visit. I've not been in a while. I'm not a very good alum, but I need to get up there.
Maryville College is 20 minutes down the road. They did an interview with me. They interviewed me. I was a state legislator and I've been 10 years elected. So they did an interview with me about where is she now? And I'm like, I'm 20 minutes down the road and you never see me.
I'm still here. Yeah.
I'm still here.
That's good.
That's hilarious. All right. So you went to Emory and Henry. Did you go to grad school after that?
I went later to grad school. I ended up going to a school called Luther Rice University. It's like part Bible college seminary and part graduate school. So I got a degree there in leadership. Yes, you can get a degree in leadership, believe it or not, which obviously makes me the most qualified leader in the world because I have a master's degree in leadership. So if you need somebody to lead something, I'm your guy. Here I come. So that was great.
You're going to have to compete against the Haslam Business Leadership College now in Knoxville because they're just pumping them out.
They are pumping them out. Well, I should probably be invited as a guest speaker, a guest lecturer, probably.
I recommend that.
Yeah, if they're looking for some quality entertainment and not so much a learning experience, I probably am a good choice. So I did get a degree there. What else did I do? What else are you asking me?
Oh my God, everything.
Everything, okay.
Basically, what I'm looking for is how did you end up with Switchmen Studios and doing what you're doing now? I mean, there are very few, I'll be honest, very few in my generation, comedians that are well written, well spoken, well presented, and relatable. And you have all of those qualities. And it's almost as if you've used the same thing we all use in sports as a conversation to get to know your audience. And then your audience automatically feels a connection to you. And it's like they are now solidified to you. So basically, if you wanted to branch out and do anything else, you could take that there. And I feel like watching you and watching your channel grow, watching your following grow, and your comments in your comment section are hilarious. I mean, people are involved with you. They're invested in you. And that is leadership. Whether you think that or not, it is definitely leadership being able to do that. And I'm really interested to see what your future plans are. Not only other skits, because we're definitely going to get into some Ohio, Michigan, but what are your future skits for the next year? And where are you planning on going with this? And where do you want this to grow?
Oh my gosh. First of all, that was all so well said. Thank you for saying such kind words and for being. Will you come manage my career? Will you be my PR person? Will we do all my marketing and PR because that sounded great. I should have written that down. So yeah,
You'll be able to press record. It's
that's
totally fine.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. So yeah, wow. I was a little hesitant to start putting out comedy videos because there's something about putting yourself out there on social media. One, my goal is not really to be a quote TikTok star. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not one of my goals. And I feel too old to say I'm going to be a TikTok star. Right? It seems like something a young person would say. But but eventually I kind of get over, I guess, imposter syndrome. Like, hey, okay, you are funny. People do think you're funny. All right, but I'm living room funny. But am I funny enough to put out content every week that people are going to look forward to seeing? And do I want to invest enough of my time to actually be doing that? And eventually, probably 2 years ago, I started making a couple videos here and there, but I wasn't consistent. They were funny, but I just didn't have the time, didn't take the time to put production quality into them. And so finally, I decided earlier this year, all right, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it well and go all in. So started making the videos and just had a tremendous response right off the bat. And it was so great to get that. And I think tapping into certain audiences has been huge for me. I think every time I do a new school, that's a brand new audience that I'm pulling in because I've been mainly SEC audiences, and now I got TCU. I got their fans coming in. So that's been really cool. And with Tennessee, Georgia, I kind of hit two fan bases at once. So I'll probably be doing more videos where I hit multiple fan bases at one time so I can bring in new viewers and followers. But so I've been doing video production for 10 plus years. I worked in marketing for a little while and then was doing video production on the side. I started a company. It was just called Mancuso Entertainment, and that was a long time ago. And I was intending really to simply get to a place where I can make movies. I want to make films. And I started making videos for other people. I did wedding videos. I did like business videos, marketing videos. It built up, and I had a couple of employees. It was great and I loved it, but I could never branch off and like do like original content. And so actually COVID kind of changed some of that for me. COVID I know was a really bad thing for all of us. But certainly some good things were born out of that. And for me, I was able to kind of reset and kind of start fresh. And I started on this journey, this direction towards really being a creator and an entertainer, and less of a I'm a business owner, obviously, but less of a client-based business owner. Now I'm making content that I want to make that other people hopefully enjoy. And so I started Switchmen Studios earlier this year, and it has been great. Our mission is really to make movies, to make full-length feature films, some short films, TV series, and online social media content. And so that's where I've started, is with that, because I think that's the greatest first step forward in gaining an audience and bringing people in and letting them kind of join in with what I'm doing and see what we're trying to do, and then we can start into some bigger things. And so I've already done some short films, some dramas, some comedies that have been in film festivals, things like that, and it's been great. I've loved it. Won a few awards. I'm thankful for that. And so we are working our way towards making bigger productions and actually making movies, but right now certainly very focused on making comedy videos and just making people laugh. So my favorite thing to do is just make people laugh and see where that takes us.
We all know that real estate is location, location, location.
Our team at Just Homes Group Realty Executives has the true expertise, pairing buyers and sellers with the right opportunities.
Whether you're looking to buy or sell a home right here in Knoxville,
Lenoir City, Clinton, or Farragut, we have the expertise throughout every Knoxville surrounding area. Call Just Homes Group Realty Executives today.
Have you thought about, just throwing this out there, what popped into my head when you said that is somebody who's obviously well on their way to getting what they want, and not to undercut the amount of work that's going to take, for sure.
Sure.
I mean, nothing comes easy. Learning how to even cut videos is extremely difficult. And so I think the younger generation has a leg up on all of us, that they wake up with a phone in their hands at the age of 6 months and figure out YouTube a day later. And they're very intelligent when it comes to videos. But it takes work, it takes dedication, and it takes garnishing the attention of the right people. What would it take for you to make a video like I don't know, like, oh gosh, what is that? Farrell, the guy, whatever his name is, the comedian, that tall red hair comedian.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell versus oh, I hate to say, like, the short, chunky, dark-headed guy that was in Moneyball.
Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Jonah Hill. I think if you did a video of impersonating each of them and garnishing some of the attention of comedians like that, they would appreciate that banter. I think that they are kind of the people that play off themselves more than anybody else. And that's kind of what you do. You play off of your own strengths while creating content for other people to love, which is really hard to do. That's really hard to do.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it works because I am able to, to be myself, even though I'm playing different characters in there. It's still me. You know what I mean? It's still me within that. If you look at big actors like Will Ferrell, like Chris Pratt, or somebody like that, yes, they become their characters, but it's really like Chris Pratt is still Chris Pratt in every movie that he's in. Will Ferrell is still Will Ferrell. Like, yeah, they're a character, and I think that's great. You can do that in comedy, especially because I have a certain type of comedic delivery, and I stick to that, and I know not to really get out of that lane too much, or I could, it won't be near as funny. So I've tried a couple of times. You should see some of the outtakes, because I'm like, oh, okay, no, don't do that again, Josh. Don't ever do that again. Like, let's go back to what you're good at. Let's do the the facial expressions and the way I say things, and So being able to be yourself and make that. I'm just so grateful that, honestly, that people think I'm funny, because sometimes I'm like, people think I'm like,
you are hilarious.
I don't think I'm that funny. People are cracking up.
You are insanely funny. It's like, it's just, you remind me of, like, what is that? The female comedian Leanne from Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
Okay, she's herself and ridiculously hilarious, and it doesn't matter what she says, you can relate to it. I get that same vibe. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do, it's relatable.
Yeah.
And funny.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
So I find that interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Is comedy, though, the genre that you want to go with all of your movies? Like, what's your passion there?
Yeah. I think, like so many comedic actors, you'll find them saying, oh, I love doing comedy, I love being a comedian, but I want to be a real actor, right? Which means you want to do drama and thrillers and things like that. So it's a balance for me. It's like, I know what is my bread and butter. I know what's going to pay the bills. I know what's going to get me where I want to go, and it is comedy. So I would be an idiot if I was like, I'm going to go do drama now. Like, no, it is comedy, and a lot of the films that we have lined up and that we're looking at are comedies, but there are some dramas as well, because I think that I'm a creative. I don't want to get stuck doing only comedy, only one thing. So there is some dramatic roles. I was just in a movie in Birmingham, Alabama. I shot a movie down there, and I played a dramatic character. And it has a little bit of comedic edge to him. It's very subtle, but it takes place in the 1970s. And so, we had the bell bottoms, and I had a mustache that, like Fu Manchu that came down here. Yeah, 70s, smoking cigarettes and just doing the whole deal. So that was fun, and that was a stretch for me. So I like being able to ease into it a little bit. Am I going to get cast in the next big drama with, Kate Winslet playing opposite me? Absolutely not. What?
You never know.
You never know. You never know. But am I more likely to get cast in a comedy tomorrow? Absolutely. So we want to do both, but comedy is certainly that's our strong suit, right?
Yeah. Where does the family fit into all this? Do they travel with you? Are they homeschooled? Tell us a little bit about your family if you want.
Good question. No, they go to school here locally, and they're great kids. I'm fortunate. My wife works as a nurse, so she has interesting hours, right? A lot of long hours back and forth. So it's a lot of like working like crazy, and then family time for a couple of days, and then working like crazy. So it goes back and forth. They don't travel with me for anything long. Sometimes if it's like a weekend, we'll go together, and that's a lot of fun. But I was gone for about 9 days recently, and they didn't go there. I went to Nashville. I was in a commercial there, and then drove down to Birmingham for the movie, and then came back. So that was the longest time I've ever had to be away from them. But my girls are 13, 12, and 6. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's a spread.
It's a spread. Yeah, the 6-year-old caught us by surprise. She was like, "Oh, Oh, we're going to have a third one. Okay, good. No, that's good. We're excited. It's great.
I'm sure the middle child loved that.
Yeah. Oh man. Bless her heart. Because
Bless their heart.
now she's the middle kid. But yeah, they're great. And, they don't, you would think maybe they think that I'm cool. I had this conversation with somebody this morning. Like, your kids must think you're so cool. And I'm like, they don't think I'm cool at all. They're like, he's just dumb old dad. They're like my oldest is like, Dad, my friends watch all your videos. It's so embarrassing.
It's like the bat dad guy. It's like, my kids hate me.
I know. I'm like, sorry, honey, but it's only going to get worse from here. So
You'll love it one day. It'll be hilarious. It's fine.
that's right. Yes.
Yeah. Like the cough. Everything is fine. Everything is
Yeah,
fine.
everything is fine. Yeah.
Everything is great. Okay. So I'm very excited about kind of like what creativity you're going into. And I feel like the shift is going to happen for you where you want it to. Do you still tell me about Switchmen Studios? Because I did a little research. Switchman, did you come up with the name because you switch characters? That's what I was thinking originally. But then I actually did some research on that, and it's a rail line position. Where did this name come from?
Well, good. You do your research, man. I love it. Thank you. Yes. So the name Switchman, it's such a random name for a studio, but so my grandfather, AJ Castile, he was a railroad worker years ago. He's passed a long time ago, but he worked on the railroad most of his life, and he was in I guess a quintet. Is that five? Quintet? He was in a basically it's like gospel group band with four other men, and they all worked for the railroad.
Wow.
And they traveled around Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, playing at churches, things like that. And I used to travel with them when I was a little boy. And I thought it was so cool. And so a switch, and their band name was the Switchmen. That was their name. The Switchmen.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and so a switchman in a railroad is the one who switches the track from one track to the other, so the train can go different track. Now it's kind of a dangerous job actually, and my grandfather wasn't necessarily a switchman most of his life. He did other things primarily, but it was a great name. And for me, I just thought, man, I'd love to just kind of give a little tribute to him. He had a big impact in my life, and so I thought I'd like to. What can I do? And I thought about his gospel band. And then I thought, well, you got to connect it somehow to filmmaking. You don't have to, but I mean, it'd be nice if it could. And so I thought, the Switchman changes the train from one track to another. And I really feel like as creators, as storytellers, as filmmakers, we have the ability to take an audience down a certain path and then all of a sudden yank that line and pull that and take them on a different path. It could be a plot twist. It could be a new character you didn't see coming. It could be a joke even. And so I like that ability to kind of take an audience this way and then take them this way and that way. And it makes the journey for them that much more exciting when they are viewing and watching your content. So that's how I came up with it. Yeah.
If that's not a title for a future movie one day, I'm not sure what is.
Amen, sister. Tell me about it. Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
That would be actually a really fantastic movie. Not necessarily about the train switcher people, but the movie with the thought process behind it itself.
Yeah.
That would be a very good. You have so much creativity in that brain of yours.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Well, I mean, I swear naming a company is like the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. It's like, because I've had other smaller companies in the past and it's like, the names didn't mean anything. And it was just sort of like, I wanted it to mean something and still be creative and something that I wouldn't mind putting up and saying, this is my company, like here it is. And it's great because people ask me what it means so I can tell them. So, yeah.
So one of the things that I do on this podcast, the whole reason I've named it ConnectTheKnox, like connect the dots, but through Knoxville, is that I've been here my entire life. I'm the first families in Tennessee, daughters of the American Revolution. We've been here forever. I mean, forever.
Love it.
And it's a very interesting thing to think of. People call me all the time and ask me, do you know somebody that does this? Do you know somebody that can do this? Who do you know that does this? And I connect people, and I've been connecting people 20 years of business and have never connected the actual dots between who I know and where they go. And so that's the purpose of the podcast. So I'm going to ask you, if you needed connected with 5 or less people, who would you want to be connected with? Put it out there into the world, because this podcast, we have, about 175,000 followers. So not massive, but not nothing to shake a stick at.
That's huge. That's awesome.
They'll probably get out there. Who are your 5 that you feel like you need to be connected with?
5 in Knoxville or 5 anywhere?
Anywhere.
You know, my biggest connections, 5 I need to be connected with would be, I think you mentioned earlier getting into some schools, right? Some colleges. It would be great to get in, whether it's athletic director or marketing and PR people, where I could actually come and visit some schools and be able to, whether it's talk to the team or do some shows there, I do some stand-up comedy, whatever I could do to get in with some of those folks would be tremendous. That would be a huge help for me. So that's one. And second would be, obviously producers, people that are involved in the entertainment industry. And then just to be completely honest, third is money. It just takes money to do what I do. And it's tough because people want to make money doing their art, and it is tough to make money doing art. And while making funny videos is just funny videos, it's still art. And so it's sponsorships, it's investors, and I have currently one investor in Switchmen Studios, and that is how I'm able to spend all my time doing what I'm doing. And I'm looking for other investors who would be able to come alongside and say, we believe in you. We think you're awesome. Think you're funny. Think you're talented. Think that we look at what you've done so far and think, wow, what if this guy really had the resources he needs to go big? Could he do it? Absolutely. I believe I could and will. So looking for those types of people. So I don't know if you're asking for specific names or people, but types of people. That's what I'm looking for.
Just putting that out there is fantastic. I think that you have more connections than you probably think about. Quentin Tarantino's from Knoxville.
Yes.
Never hurts to reach out. And people laugh and they're like, he's unreachable. He's not. David Keith still lives in Knoxville.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that.
Coaches in Knoxville. Trains kids in Knoxville. Acting classes in Knoxville. Just, a couple examples up in Bristol, Johnson City, Tri-Cities area. The guy that does the editing for the playbacks and what we like to call the chicken salad of the mess that we make on the football field. He's from Johnson City.
Really?
Right here in Knoxville. So there's a lot of things that you can connect to right here in Knoxville. And this is what I love about it is whenever I find somebody that I want to interview and I want to bring them on the show and I'm like, listen, what can we do for you? This is exactly what this is about. Finding talented people who are connected to Knoxville and they don't even know it. And these are opportunities right down the road. But obviously Nashville will be probably the biggest one for you to go to. But you have that capability right here in the Knoxville Tri-Cities market. So I'm excited to have shared that and your opportunities to grow because I feel like we're going to see a lot more of you. And I'm really excited to have had you when you had open time on this podcast because I feel like that is such a huge opportunity for the world to see you and get to know you a little bit. So we've got about 3 minutes. Breakdown for how people can find you.
Yeah.
Spell it out so we don't get confused. How they can contribute. Do you have like a donations page? Do you have a GoFundMe page? Do you have a requests page for videos? I would love to see like Realtor versus Fizbo, because that would be hilarious for my industry. Little things like that. And then if they can buy a video from you, like say, hey, this is something that's in my industry. I would love a comedic gesture on. Let's find a way to help you grow and get to be known at the same time. So fill us in. Where can people find you and help you?
That's awesome. Julie, you're so great. Thanks for doing this, for having me on. Yes, obviously the best ways to start following me is on social media. Most of my handles are just at Josh Mancuso, and that's Josh, Josh, Mancuso, Mancuso. TikTok's a little different. It's at the Josh Mancuso, and Facebook is also at the Josh Mancuso because somebody took my handle before I had a chance to get there. But Instagram, Twitter is at Josh Mancuso. So yeah, follow me there. Obviously, I welcome people, to DM me. I read most of my DMs, not all. I get to, I pretty much read them all. I get to them. Eventually, it takes me a little bit of time, but I will get to it. So feel free to DM me if you have suggestions or anything. And then email me at switchmenstudios@gmail.com. So it's Switchmen, plural, MEN, switchmenstudios@gmail.com. The website is switchmenstudios.com. You can go there as well and just drop me a line and connect with me. I'd love to hear from folks and whatever I can do for them as well. If someone wants to partner with me in some way financially, there's plenty of ways that way. Or if you just want to request something, I'm also on Cameo just recently, so you can book me $29. You can book a personalized message from me if someone is interested in that. If you have a
Oh God, I've already paid for it. Take my money. Take my money.
Take my money.
I'm serious. That's so great. I didn't even know that. That's so awesome.
Yes, so just cameo.com/Josh Mancuso, and I can send a private message to you or somebody's birthday or somebody that loves a certain team or something. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun too.
Oh my God, I've got so many of my football players that have birthdays coming up, so that is like, take my money.
Please.
All right. Please. Everybody, thank you so much. This has been one of my favorite podcasts to record so far. I'm very excited about it. I'll let you know when it drops. We drop about every 2 weeks. So we're starting to film as many as, we've got 50 in the pipeline so far. I've been very lucky that people have sent me the right people. I am lucky to have found you and that you responded. I cannot wait to see what happens in your future. Everybody, please follow at the Josh Mancuso or at Josh Mancuso, and whoever bought his stuff, give it to this man. Please give him his name. Thank you for connecting the Knox. I'm Julia Hurley. Thanks for visiting.
Thank you for tuning into the show. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice. And if you would like information on moving to Knoxville, send me a private message. As always, this is Julia Hurley connecting Knoxville to the nation.